Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Gordon here. I'm here to talk to you today about how can temperature affect photosynthesis. To tie this in, you are being tasked with looking closely at one variable that affects photosynthesis, and our goal is to give feedback to botanists who are planning for a Mars biosphere in order to have a self-contained system that can supply food to its inhabitants. So our goal is to maximize photosynthesis, which will therefore maximize food and oxygen inside a closed system. So how can we make sure that we are considering temperature in this variable consideration? So what we want to start with is, what did we do in our experiment? So this is an overview of what we did for our experiment testing temperature. Now, we decided to look at a decreased temperature and compare a decreased temperature to a room temperature scenario. So to give you guys an idea of what this looked like, we're talking about an average temperature in the control data of 72 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's how warm the room was when we ran our control data. We didn't try to actively cool the spinach or heat it up. Okay, and so you can take a look at the control data to see what that data looked like. Then what we did for the experimental data was we took some ice packs and put an ice pack below this chamber as well as inside, and we cooled the chamber down to 51 degrees Fahrenheit. Now remember, Mars is extremely cold, and one of the factors that Martians, I suppose, are going to have to consider is, what do you want to spend energy on? And so we're looking here is, do we need to spend energy really focusing on providing an adequate temperature to these plants? And if so, what is that temperature? Does temperature really affect photosynthesis? It's your goal to find out. So here's kind of an overview that you saw when you looked at factors affecting photosynthesis in your reading. The factor one that we looked at was temperature, and this gives you a little bit of a breakdown as to what that article said. You're welcome to pause the video here and reread this. But essentially what the graph is showing over here on the left is there is an ideal temperature for photosynthesis to occur. And this has to do with an idea that every plant has a unique set of enzymes that help photosynthesis occur. Without these enzymes, we have no photosynthesis. Now, enzymes are a little bit fickle, and they require a specific heat or warmth in order to function. If we have those enzymes get too cold, then those enzymes can't function. If enzymes get too hot, they denature and become no longer usable. So we want to think about what could be the ideal temperature for specifically spinach, because that's the variable we're considering in this lab. Once again, you're here because you're taking a look at temperature and its effect on photosynthesis, and you are now set to take a closer look at the experimental data, which shows a colder temperature than the control. That's it, you guys. Have a great day.